flowers. Today I'm going to do a Q&A for you guys, and I'm super excited. I haven't done one of these in a while, and here we go. Just so you guys know, this is my Sunday, so it's my day off of work, so I'm kind of just bumming around, and I'm sitting here, and I've been sleeping the day away, so that's why I wanted to film a video, and I am like sweating right now because I left my heater on because it was colder this morning and it was rainy, and so I'm just sitting here like so hot, and I'm in this sweatshirt, and I didn't plan to wear anything else, so I don't feel like going to get like a whole other outfit for you guys, so I'm just wearing this, and it's so hot. But yeah, representing New Mexico now that I'm in Portland. It's like the only New Mexico thing I brought, so I'm gonna wear it. Okay, our first question comes from Vicky Liz 1, and she asks, how long before being diagnosed were you able to get on the pump, and was it an easy transition from the pen to the pump? Okay, so I pretty much wanted to have a pump as soon as I was diagnosed. However, my honeymoon period lasted longer than most people's, and my doctor wanted to make sure that I was completely done with that before she put me on a pump because I was so insulin sensitive. So it actually took about 2 years, which is as long as she's ever seen anyone be on their honeymoon period. If you guys don't know what that is, I'll put a little definition below. And so yeah, I had to wait a whole 2 years, and I was not happy about it. So I would definitely say the transition was very easy because I was just so excited. And also when I switched from syringes to the pen, I ended up switching back to syringes because it was just, I don't know, more comfortable for me. So I'd actually switched from syringes, pen, syringes, pump. And it was a really easy transition, especially because I have the Omnipod, which I find really easy to use. Our next question comes from Hannah 1324. Do you have any advice for starting on a pump? Does it annoy you when you're in bed? The only thing I would say is just to remember that it's something that is now a part of your body. The sooner you accept that, the sooner it will be just to like kind of, you know, have it with you all the time. And just remember how much it's helping you and what it's doing for you. And my advice is just don't forget that like throughout the first week that you're wearing it, it's probably going to feel kind of clunky or awkward on you. But after that, I would say you get so used to it that you barely even notice it. So just keep reminding yourself that you're going to get used to it. It's just such a huge blessing to have a pump because it does so much of the work for you. Alright, so my friend Danny, I Dan the Man on Instagram, make sure to go follow him. I will always say that when he asks a question, I'll make sure you guys go follow him because I love his Instagram and he's super fashionable and he has all these cool outfits of the day. So go follow him. It's I Dan the Man. Anyways, he said, what are some of your favorite things about Portland? I have so many, you guys. It's like ridiculous. The people here are so friendly and like open-minded and just nice. Like everyone just, I'm not gonna say everyone, but a lot of people smile at you and say hi, how are you doing, just when you're out walking, like out and about, and I think that's really cool. Also, they're super progressive and liberal, and I love that. As far as the city itself, it's beautiful. It's full of like flowers and trees and the rain, which I love. Sometimes it can get a little bit cold, but I grew up in New Mexico where it hardly ever rains, so having the rain is super cool. There's so much to do. There are food trucks everywhere, so many microbreweries here. Just like that college atmosphere of lots of just young people here. So I really love it just for everything that it is, basically. This question comes from my good friend Lindsay N94. How did you know you were ready to move away with your boyfriend? So that's part one of the question. So I knew I was ready when he and I were taking a walk in the petroglyphs in New Mexico. So we kind of wanted to go do something a little bit different that we don't normally do, that we could do in Albuquerque, because there's not a whole lot to do in Albuquerque depending on how you look at it. For me, I didn't ever find a lot of things that I really enjoyed doing there. So we were taking a walk and we were just enjoying being out and like away from our normal lives so much, and we just started talking about our lives and where we wanted to be in our lives and where we were headed in the future, and just so many things we have in common and things that we want for ourselves that are the same, and just wanting to be in a place like, not the petroglyphs specifically, but in a place that was different from where we were, that brought us happiness. And ever since we first started talking, we started talking about Portland, just kind of arbitrarily. I was in Portland when we first started talking for like a day, but his grandparents live here too, so we'd always kind of talked about it as some place that we both want to live at some point. So just knowing that we both had the same goals for ourselves and knowing that we were super comfortable with each other, we realized that we were ready to not only move in together but also make this journey together. What has it been like living in a new city? Oh my god, it's completely crazy, Lindsay, because I've never lived anywhere else in my life besides Albuquerque. For the most part, I've only lived in the same house with my parents my entire life, and just getting to know how to get everywhere and the new buildings and the new locations and the new people and the new atmosphere, it's so incredible, but it's also kind of scary. So I've had a pretty good time adjusting, but at the same time, it's a lot of information to take in. Also, love your videos and seeing you and your channel grow. Much love. I love you too, Lindsay. Noah! You guys know I love Noah. Noah Waters says, how do you deal with your Omnipod if you put it on a tender spot and is sore to the touch? It drives me crazy. Lots of love. Alright, so this is actually really important to me because everything that I love about the Omnipod is still everything I love about it. Like, no matter what it does wrong, I still love the Omnipod, and I will always try to get people to get the Omnipod if they can get it. However, there are those times when it is, like you said, you put it on a sore spot and you're kind of like, oh my god, I hate this thing. I hate this. I don't want it on my body. And that's when I just have to tell myself, life is too short to be suffering. So if you put it on a spot that's particularly sore and you realize that it's getting more and more sore as the days go by, just take it off. Like, there have been times when I've tried to kind of tuck it through and be like, I just have one more day, even though every time I knock it somewhere, it's really hurting. But I realized, don't do that, because the longer it's on there, the more irritation it's going to put on that spot. And when I end up taking it off, it looks like a bug bite almost, and it's really painful, and it leaves a really nasty bruise. So I would just say, don't put yourself through the pain. Just take it off, unless it's just like, you know, it's just kind of stinging a few seconds after you put it in, and that's kind of like, that's okay, as long as that goes away. But if it continues to be tender and it's just super uncomfortable, just take it off, because it's not worth it. Alright, you guys, that's all our questions for today's video, and I'm really excited to put this up. I've been wanting to have more connection with you guys lately, just because I've kind of fallen off the face of the earth ever since I started my other job, which was working at the spa back in Albuquerque. And I was just working all the time trying to make money so that I could move out, not knowing I was going to move across the country. So I've kind of not put up a lot of content on here since then, which was back in December. So just getting a chance to connect with you guys more and hear your questions just makes me so happy. So make sure to like this video if you liked it with a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'm going to try to put up a lot more content just about my life in Portland, of course, my life living with diabetes, and just vlogs in general of what Aaron and I get up to on a daily basis. So, yay! I'm in Portland, guys, and I'm so happy. So I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.